Goodness me! In the 5th minute of additional time had put Leyton Orient in front, and Leyton Orient have come from behind and surely have picked up 3 precious points.
Welcome to Orient Live. Things are looking slightly different today for this Boxing Day fixture, as we're doing this one slightly remotely. And when I say slightly, it's fully remote. But don't worry, we've got a fantastic show on the cards today. We've got some great guests ready to join us, and we'll start off by introducing them for this game today against Peterborough. We've got Josh Coulson and Richard Lewis joining us for this one. Josh, welcome back. This is your full debut on Orient Live. You must be filled with pride. And your old friends Peterborough as well, Josh, a club you've had pretty a few derbies within your time. And they're of course a bit of a yo-yo club, Richard. They've been up and down at times in recent years. A lot of managers, well, the same two managers a few different times, and now they've got a new manager, but they're quite a big club for this level.
Darren Ferguson, of course, have been there for a long time, and very much so. They're well, perhaps 1 year in the Championship, next year in League One. But I was saying earlier that I remember many moons ago when Frank Clark was the Orient manager. I was there at Peterborough, and the Peterborough manager then, I think it was John Weil, had an amazing outburst at his players after the game, and we were interviewing Frank outside the dressing room. We all had to stop. There was so much noise. So Orient really rattled them that day. Let's hope they do the same today.
Let's hope they can do that indeed. Well, we're going to be taking a look at the starting lineup very shortly, but before we do that, let's hear the pre-match thoughts of the gaffer, Sir Richie Wellens.
We had a great Christmas last year in terms of results. Just how important is this period?
Yeah, everyone says it's important. I think the main thing is that you play so many games in quick time, so you can go 3, 6, 9, 12 very, very quickly. Whereas if you do that over a month period, then you still got the same point, but it doesn't have the same impact. When you go bang, bang, bang and win games, it's like, okay, we are now flying. But ultimately, it's 3 points for a win and 0 for a loss. So we need to make sure that we just continue to keep ticking the points tally over. Disappointed that we didn't pick anything up away at Barnsley, because I think we deserved something and we should have got something. Disappointed not to win at home to Luton, because I think we deserved to win the game. But at least we're learning now. We're putting processes in place, and we're learning off them processes that will stand us in good stead going forward.
We've played Peterborough once already this season in the Virtue Trophy. Since then, they've changed manager. How have they changed as a team since Luke Williams?
Much, still play very good football, keep wingers high and wide, expansive, play from the back. If you don't get the press right, they're dangerous on transitions. So yeah, very, very similar. Obviously, Darren was unfortunate because what he's done for that football club, he's made a hell of a lot of money selling players, and he lost quite a lot. And you look at some of them players, Efron Clark's at Coventry doing great. Hector's obviously gone to Watford, who we know pretty well. Burrows has gone. There's a lad that went to QPR who's doing well. So they've lost some really, really good players, and as we found, that it can take time to adapt. But I think they've signed some good players as well, and they're slowly now adapting to the level, getting used to the intensity, and I think they've got some talented players.
Right then, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the O's this afternoon. In goal, keeping his place, it's number 1. It's Tommy Simpkin. Across the back line, Jack Simpson starts at left back today. Dan Happy partners the captain, Omar Beckles, and Michael Craig occupies the right-hand side of the defence. Tyreek Bakinson partners Jack Morehouse in the heart of midfield, with Charlie Wellens, apologies, playing just ahead of them in the 10 role, with Dimitri Mitchell and Ollie O'Neill in the wide positions. And it's Dom Ballard who leads the line. And on the subs bench is Killian Cahill, Tom James, Josh Koroma, Jai Lang, Jai Simi, and Sean Clare. think there might be some errors on that bench, but we'll take a look and get the full bench confirmed for you. But anyway, let's talk about that one then. I mean, the big one is probably the three centre backs that are playing today. One playing at left back, obviously Jack Simpson, the one we expect to be occupying that place. It's a lot of height in defence though, Josh.
Yeah, big back four. Obviously, really looking forward to watching Dan again. Obviously, have a big connection with Dan, and but no, obviously three big lads there at the back. Obviously, Simpson playing out on the left. Be interesting to see. Good to see Omar back in, and obviously the skipper of the football club, and sort of feel like I know now how he's feeling, and he's really a proud guy to represent the football club. So big, strong, physical. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And we look at that maybe last game against Bradford. The opening 20 minutes, not a good goal to concede. But after that, the defensive work we did show was really impressive, Richard.
It really was, and I thought it was a very significant result, that, considering we were 1-0 down against one of the high flyers, and the spirit seemed to really grow throughout, and I thought that grew from the back towards obviously the front, and our two goals that won us the match. Good sign that, and let's hope that carries on today.
Probably had been a few too many goals conceded this season, Josh. It's something, Richie's spoken a lot about in interviews. I think fans on social media have spoken a lot about. Is it a hard thing to just go, right, we're going to tighten up the defence? How do you go about it on the field?
I think it is hard when the way that Richie wants to play. He wants to play exciting football, expansive football. So it is tough, and it isn't just a quick fix. I think with injuries and players in and out, obviously sort of playing out of position, it is tough. But I think, the way they play and the way they want to play, it makes it a bit harder. But I think there's been some really solid displays over this season as well defensively. So hopefully today can be another one.
Let's talk about the midfield then today. And actually in the last game again against Bradford, they looked really good. Jack Morehouse alongside Tyreek Bakinson. They're very different players, but Richard, they seem to complement each other really well.
They really do, and I didn't realise that the Jack has only just turned 20. So making a good impression. He's really good on the ball, and that their work rate is really good together. And they work well, and it was also noticeable that they almost are aware where their positions are, and I thought that was important against Bradford.
Let's take a look at some of the Jack Morehouse best bits in an O shirt. Obviously, he had a very good game against them in the EFL Trophy. But as you see here, the kind of player he is, Josh, he looks like he's really grown into men's football.
Yeah, I think, look, it takes I've played with a lot of kids that come on loan from obviously bigger clubs, and he's come from a very, very big club, but it does take him time to find their feet. I mean, just watching some of these clips, the way he moves with the ball, very confident on the ball, good bit of skill. Obviously, his goal against Peterborough before was a really, really good goal. So he's one of those players you've got to give time, give these young lads time, and they will grow into the team. And I think you're seeing that with his performances now.
And it's so important, isn't it? This is the play in the heart of the midfield. This is what knits kind of the whole attack together, and they'll be key today, won't they?
Yeah, it'll be big. You just want to get him on the ball, creating things there, nicking balls high up the pitch, which is really good. It is an important role for such a young lad to come into, but I think watching him and seeing him, it'll be no problem for him.
And Richard, we've got to talk about goals because obviously they win you the game. But looking at the attackers we've got on the pitch today, we've seen a lot of different combination of players this season due to injury, of course. But Ollie O'Neill, Dimitri Mitchell, and Don Ballard. What do you make of that front three?
I think it's very exciting. Obviously, Dom's performances speak for themselves. Ollie's been superb, and Dimitri Mitchell, exciting and excellent as well. And a combination that I think could work well today. It's interesting away from home. We've obviously scored 4 goals at Burton and looked brilliant. Then we scored 2 goals at Barnsley and looked good then. I think good signs today.
Well, some gold and some excitement would be a nice festive treat for us, wouldn't it? Right, we're going to be joined by Nigel Travis very shortly, but first, let's hear from the young midfielder. It's Jack Morehouse.
Jack, back in the side, last couple of games. How have you found being back in?
Yeah, I'm happy to be back in. A bit frustrating being on the bench, but it's all part of the journey, so yeah, glad to be back in.
So this is your first season really in senior football. How have you found that step up? What are the differences between 21s and...
The big difference is probably off the ball, because they focus a lot off the ball. More in academy football, it's more based in possession. You focus off the ball, but not as much as like first team football. So yeah, I think probably off the ball.
And do you feel like you're improving in those off the ball
Yeah,
areas?
loads better. With the games I'm playing, I feel like I'm trying to focus off the ball, and yeah, it's doing all right.
And what's been the key to that learning, do you think?
Off the ball?
Yeah.
Just every day in training, just noticing things, just even watching the games. Like if I'm watching a midfielder, I could watch him, see what he's doing, how he's playing. So yeah, I can learn off other players in my team.
Coaching staff here and the gaffer in particular being, because if you rewind to when he was your age, he was in pretty much your position.
Yeah, he's proper demanding, so it helps me because he helps to demand me and get the best out of me in training, and helps to bring it onto the field and the pitch.
And obviously he was a young Man United player one day in his past as well. So do you think that helps his relationship with you?
Yeah, probably. I think so, because he was at Manchester United around my age. So yeah, I think so.
So you started the last two away at Barnsley and at home to Bradford. What were your thoughts on the Bradford game?
I thought we played well. To come back from 1-0, we done well. He was always aggressive. He was aggressive against him. He played well. We done.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so,
Jack.
Yeah. He was aggressive against him. He played well. We done the things we need to do off the ball, and yeah, we done everything we needed to do to get 3 points.
When you first came in and you were playing, we used to see you in the sort of 10 role. You've now come back into the 8 and 6 positions. How have you found playing there? So you're alongside Tyreek, weren't you, in the last game?
Yeah, it's more responsibility, like off the ball. Then that's what I want to learn in part of my game. So I'm kind of glad that I'm playing there, and yeah, and I can feel like I can impact the game better when I'm playing deeper. I can drive up the pitch, find passes through pockets. So yeah.
Do you think, as well as having to learn the off-ball stuff, do you think those deeper positions allow you to do the things that you're good at as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because yeah, probably so.
So it's Peterborough to come on Boxing Day, I guess. Going to Peterborough probably brings back some nice memories for you.
Yeah, the last game, don't know when it was, a few months ago, was it? September? Yeah, played well. We won that game, was it 3-1? Yeah, hopefully we can do that again on Saturday, or Friday, I mean.
So I'll ask you about a specific moment now. So I think it was just in the second half, you picked up the ball sort of around the halfway line, and then talk us through what happened.
I was just driving with it. I think Sonny made the run, opened up a bit of a space for me, so I decided to just drive into it, and I just thought, let it off, why not? Yeah, glad it went in.
How big a moment was that in your career so far?
But it's my first goal, so it's a big moment of my career, so yeah, it was a very good moment for me.
And looking forwards now, so to Friday and beyond, what are you hoping to get out of the next few weeks, next few months or so?
Just consistent playing, minutes, stay injury free, hopefully keep winning games. Yeah, that's the main thing for me.
Not long to go now until kickoff, and of course don't forget, if you're watching along live on our pre-match stream, then you can follow all of the action here with us on Orient Live today. Match passes can be picked up for just £10 on the club website, or UK fans, if you're watching on our YouTube stream, then you can pick up an audio pass to listen along with Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock. But now we've got a very special Christmas treat. Joining us all the way from the other side of the pond, we've got Nigel Travis here, ready to talk to us about today's game. Nigel, welcome. Merry Christmas. Where are we speaking to you from today?
I'm in Boston at home. Excited about my 10 o'clock, as it is here, kick-off. Last week I was in Montana, which is mountain time, so it was a bit earlier, 2 hours earlier. So it's a good time to watch football on Boxing Day.
It certainly is. What's it like as a chairman of a football club to actually be running a football club around this festive period? It's great for a fan. It must be a hectic period of the season for you, though, especially obviously with the night of January coming up as well.
It's funny, a lot of my career has been in retail or fast food, and it's very similar because every day is different. You have sales that are up, sales that are down. One of my companies, Abercrombie and Fitch, Obviously, it's a big day in England for Boxing Day where a lot of people go out for the sales. So it's very similar. In terms of football, you've got all these games thick and fast. You've been planning for the transfer window over the last few weeks. But things can change dramatically. I remember one year when we lost 3 centre halves in one game at Northampton. So all our plans for the window went out very quickly. And if you recall last year, we had to bring in Reg because, again, we had an issue at centre half. So it's a busy time, but I think if you get organised, and we're a lot more organised than we used to be. So I feel we're in good shape.
Well, I won't push you for any more January any January questions just now, but we'll wait till January for that one. But let's talk about the football then, Nigel. What have you made of the season so far? We're approaching that halfway period. How are things from your view?
Well, I'm a natural optimist, and I'm actually pretty optimistic. I think being in the 11th spot, you could argue, is the perfect place. I know we've played a couple more games than some other teams, but I think we've had some pretty woeful defensive performances, which has been mentioned earlier in the programme. And I'm smiling looking at Josh Coulson there because, he was a stalwart of our promotion season in the National League. And I think we've missed a little bit at the back, which we are going to remedy in the window. So I'll cover the window there. But going forward, as you discussed just before the last interview with Jack, I think we've looked fantastic at times, scored all those goals. It's obviously a pity that Aaron Connolly is out for mostly the rest of the season. But we've got a lot of talent. And if you remember that we haven't been really playing Josh Koroma over the last few weeks, I'm very optimistic about us going forward. I think this is a year we have to take advantage of. Next year, we're going to have some big teams come down. Sheffield Wednesday are just about down. So they're going to, I'm sure, recover next season. There's no Wrexham, there's no Birmingham. So we feel this is the year to go for it. So I feel very positive. I know Richie does. And we're planning to make a good run. That's the plan. Hopefully the plan works out.
And turning our attention to today's fixture then, how do you see this one going against Peterborough?
I think it's tough. I mean, they've got Luke Williams. We always have a list of managers if anything happens to Richie. Luke was on our list. Martin knows him because he used to be at Leyton Orient. I think he did a pretty good job at Swansea. I think he was a bit unlucky to get terminated there. He seems to have turned them round, but I think they had 4 winning games, then they lost 4. Now they're on a run of 3 winning games. We've got to be determined we make sure it's not 4 winning games. So I think it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be very different from the game earlier in the season. And yes, wasn't that a great goal by Jack? So I think it's going to be a tough game, but I've got a good feeling about it as well. We have to get on a run sometime, and this is a pivotal game. As I think Richard said earlier in the show, that was a great win on Saturday. It was interesting. Someone over here, his brother went to see the game, and he texted me and said it was one of the best games he's seen in a long time. I hadn't really thought about it because I get a little bit carried up in the emotion of it all, but it was a terrific game.
It certainly was. Let's talk about kind of the wider football scene a little bit then, Nigel, quickly before we turn our attention back to the game. But obviously being stateside yourselves and being involved with the club along with David as well, there's obviously the Summer World Cup coming up next year in the States. Feels like quite a big poignant time for football in general.
Yeah, I think the World Cup's going to be very pivotal for the game. I mean, obviously, it's the biggest World Cup of all time. We actually have here in the Boston area, I think it's 9 games. Scotland are playing here. England are playing here. I've already got my ticket for the game against Ghana. And I'm also going to the England-Panama game, which is in New Jersey. So it's going to be an exciting time. I've written in the programme about disgraceful prices of the tickets. I think it's a rip-off on the fans, but I won't go down that route today. But I've got an idea I'd ask everyone to think about. I mean, Josh has been over here. He stayed at this house, actually, and Joe Widdowson has as well. But one of the things I'm thinking about is there's going to be a lot of Orient fans coming to see Scotland, England, potentially Wales or Ireland, whatever happens in the playoffs. So I'm thinking of setting up a Orient fans event, because hopefully a lot of fans will be coming over. Perhaps we go to a bar, go to a restaurant, whatever, and just do a Leyton Orient event for all the fans. So can I ask the fans to write into the club or wherever they contact us and let us know about that idea? Because I think we want to keep the momentum going. We were thinking about doing a pre-season tour in the States, but all the prices went up because the World Cup pulled the prices higher, and I think we may do it next year. So we'll do the pre-season tour probably in Spain, Portugal, or somewhere like that. But I'd be really interested in what the fans think of that idea, because we want to keep the engagement with Leyton Orient going all summer.
Well, Nigel, thank you so much. Before we let you go and get ready to enjoy the game stateside, do you have one final message for the supporters ahead of the new year?
I do. I think it's been a great year for Leyton Orient. I mean, we got to the playoff final probably ahead of schedule. We should have won, but 76,000 was a record attendance. I think we're going to get better and better this season. So I say thank you for all the support. One of the highlights of the year was before the game at Stockport, where we met up in the pub with the fans. And that night was a night I'll always remember, where we got through to the final. So it's been a great 2025. I think we got a great manager, great coaching staff, and an even better squad this year, potentially, than last year. So let's get behind the team as we go into the new year and look very positively into 2026.
Well, Nigel, thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the game today. But now we're going to take a quick ad break, and then we're going to turn our attention back to the big game. See you then.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the U.S., giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at Fuda.com. That's FOODA.com.
You have a choice. You can waste 20, maybe 30% of your media budget, spend millions reaching bots, the wrong people, or no one at all. Or just use 0 to 1. It knows who's ready to buy. It's over 85% accurate. Zero wasted spend. The future of marketing isn't guessing. It's knowing.
Not long to go now until kickoff, so let's take a look and see how Peterborough line up this afternoon. Luke Williams has opted for Alex Bass in goal. The captain, number 2, is Carl Johnson. Archie Collins is in there alongside Tom Lees. Ben Woods, Kevin Lisby's son, Cairo Lisby, Jimmy J. Morgan, David Okabui, Harry Leonard, and Matt Garbett. And finally, Peter Kioso. And on the bench is Vincente Reyes, Declan Firth, Gian Hayes, Gustav Lindgren, Tom O'Connor, Donae O'Brien Brady, and James Dornley. So we've touched on them briefly, Richard, but it's a bit of a hard one to call. Nigel was saying how he rates Luke as a manager. I think a lot of football fans and minds do. It's just they've been in good form, but they're down and about this. So which way do you see this one going?
They're 16th, so a few places below Orient. A little bit like Orient, a little bit inconsistent, but as Nigel was saying, on a run of 3 matches unbeaten. I think one of the keys is Harry Leonard, their striker. He's scored 5 times the last 4 games. He joined from Blackburn in the summer. Took a while to get going, didn't score his first goal till November. Is a real threat, and a threat because he's really muscly in terms of getting in front of and behind defenders. And I think that's going to be really, really key for the Orient defence today, that they've got to just marshal him and not almost take it down. There's some good centre halves there, but not take their eye off him because he is dangerous and he's in form.
Let's take a look at some of the goals they've scored this season. Do you think it's potentially a bit of a false table position today, Josh, for Peterborough?
Yeah, look, they got off to a really bad start to the season, right? Which sort of pleased me a little bit with my Cambridge connection. But look, Luke's a really good manager. I've heard a lot of good things about him and the way he wants to play football as well. So again, yeah, I think you're right, Ollie. A bit of a false position, and look, they've won 3 in a row, as Nigel said, and they're obviously kicking on now. So let's hope we can sort of stem that bit of good form and get a good result against them.
And we need to be, we touched on it already, Richard, but be so on it defensively. They're a team that know where the back of the net is. We've got to stop leaking these goals, haven't we?
We have. It all starts from the back, as Josh will know, and if we can start doing that, we've got such great firepower up front. But let's think back. This time last year, December was the key month, really, wasn't it? That got us going towards the playoff final. So New Year's only around the corner. Let's hope the defence start today and the strikers deliver.
Richie spoke about it in his pre-match, Josh, but this feels like such a big part of the football schedule in a sense where in the next 6 days we could pick up 9 points and the whole table can look different.
Yeah, look, I think you hear it all the time, cliches of Christmas is such a big period of the season. It's so important. It's how professional the players been, but also there's so many fixtures in this little period now where, like you say, you can pick up some really key points that a lot of teams do find it hard to put consistent performances together. So I think last year again is a massive thing. Look, this is the period where Orient kicked on and sort of went into the playoffs. So let's hope from experience they can do that again this year.
And that Bradford game, Richard, if you're going to take confidence from any performance or any result, you've got to take it and build on it from that Bradford game.
Well, 100%. And if you go into today's game thinking what we did against Bradford last week, and equally, as Nigel was saying, I know we've spoken about this before, there's potentially big teams could be relegated this season into League One. So this is really the year that I think the league is there for the taking. And let's hope they build on that great win last week.
It's such a bizarre table. There's a handful of points between all the middle teams. The teams are making their way out onto the pitch. But as Nigel was saying, Josh, what an opportunity it is to kick on ourselves.
Absolutely. As a player, I used to love this period of fixtures. So there's no time like now to really kick on and put in a really good performance and start getting some really good results.
Well, here come the teams at London Road. So let's hand over to our match commentary team of Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Good afternoon and welcome to London Road where the sun is shining. I hope you had a good Christmas. Did you, Matt?
Ask me in 90 minutes, Dave, because I love Boxing Day football. It's a real privilege to be here. Always is a great occasion, something you always look for when the fixtures come out. Where are the O's Boxing Day? You always hope you're at home. If it's an away one, you hope it's not too far. But if it is, you hope it's a successful one. It means a lot to a lot of people. Players always need to turn up on Boxing Day.
Well, 2 changes for both teams. And I don't think it's a surprise to see Omar Beckles return and Demi Mitchell start.
Yeah, without a doubt, 2 changes for the O's. Obviously, one forced upon Richie Wellens with Theo Archibald, unfortunately sustaining a broken rib, so he misses out, and I'm sure he will do in the coming weeks. But Beckles is back in. It also means Demi Mitchell gets his opportunity because Teo Adaramola drops to the bench. 2 changes for the home side as well. Both the fullbacks, interestingly, are back in. The experienced Johnson and Kioso are in. Mendy and Dornelli are absent this afternoon. Dornelli drops to the bench.
It'll be interesting to see which of those 2 play at right back then.
Yeah, of course, competition there, and you can see that Luke Williams is just starting to show 1 or 2 signs, starting to build. Watch their game here against Stockport County. They were impressive on that occasion. Bit of a mixed couple of defeats after that, but at the moment, Peterborough are finding a bit of form. 3 successive wins for Posh, but, and I'll put this in with a bit of optimism, Dave, at home on Boxing Day, they haven't won since 2015.
And this is their 3,000th league game. They're taking it very seriously as well, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You should do as a proud football club, an established football league club as well. And they have been up and down, a little bit of a yo-yo team in recent years, but they've had some success both on and off the pitch as well. Players going on and pushing on their careers, and Peterborough picking up a nice bit of wedge as well along the way.
Luke Williams, of course, a former Orient youth team manager, and he has had an impact, particularly for young Harry Leonard.
Yeah, without a doubt, they've started to turn the tide a little bit, Peterborough, but a big opportunity for both these teams to start kicking some form, kicking some momentum. It was interesting, Richie Wellens, before the Barnsley game, he made the point in his pre-match build-up. He was looking for 11 points from 6 games. That was before Barnsley. Of course, it's now 8 points from 4 games. A lot of football coming up in the next 10 days. Looking forward to all of it.
The game is off and underway.